Hey crew, it's Ben. We're back with another typology video. We're getting back into the Cogdat app. This is probably gonna be the second drop today on this. I personally am interested to see what type Nicki Minaj is. I'm not familiar with Nicki Minaj. I dropped out completely from entertainment. None of it. Like, I don't watch any of it. I don't watch any TV. I don't watch any movies. I read books that were written 20 years ago. Like, for real. I dropped out because the brainwashing is real. But Nicki, I actually watched a reactor react to her thing. And Memes Over Outrage, wonderful, wonderful channel. If you're not subscribed to Memes Over Outrage, check her out. But she pointed out some things about Nicki that I didn't know. That it's not something new. It's not a red pill for her. She has been consistently in her own lane. I want to check out her type. I want to know a little bit more about Nicki. So we're going to dig in. We've got an interview here from the Angie Martinez show. I'm not familiar with that. I'm really not. But we're going to see what's going on. We've fast forwarded about 5 minutes in. That's because I prefer a longer form interview, and I like to get 5 minutes in. Once you're 5 minutes into an interview, you're comfortable. You're in your box. You're talking. As long as it's not an antagonistic interview, then you're in your box. If it is an antagonistic interview, we can still type from that. It's just a little bit harder. Because they're so defensive, they don't act naturally. You want them to act naturally. You want them to be the person that they are so that you can correctly identify things. We're going to dig in. This is probably going to be a 20 minute or so video, so we're going to go ahead and see what's going on. Let's go.
You have two Meek Mill songs on here.
Yeah.
I like both, but
And it really doesn't matter. Like, this is the one of the things that's hard for people to understand, is that it really doesn't matter what the subject matter is. It doesn't. As long as they're talking and they're comfortable, you can get the type out of it.
the Buy a Heart is the one I really, really like.
I love that so much.
Do you love Meek Mill? Because I love Meek Mill.
I hate you. I hate you so bad.
I know you do. I can tell
But
by
you
your
know what's
reaction.
so funny? You're so good at what you do
What did I
that I have to. Sorry. That I have to salute you.
What?
That is some hard tribe pushback, but it doesn't seem to be in a tribe friendly way. It seems to be self. Like, she's like, bitch, I can't believe you made me have to say this.
Why? That's a real question.
No, I think he's amazing. I love what he represents. Like, no,
I like the
I love what he
idea
represents for
of him.
dudes that think like him,
Yeah.
and act like him, and live like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him,
Pretty sure Meek Mill is an independent artist who speaks his mind vocally about some opposite of the mainstream stuff. I'm not familiar with Meek Mill. If I should be, let me know in the comments.
before, like,
Y'all know what I like.
you're so important to our culture.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we always need that.
This is ideas
vibe,
focused.
like that DMX.
Yes.
Like, I needed DMX. Like, when I was growing up, I needed to see a dude act like that
Yeah.
and talk like that and be like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people in the game now.
Right.
Right, this is very
That's all you
ideas
have to say
focused.
about that.
And that's direct. That is very direct. That is very controlled. Like, that is not typing yet, but that is where I'm leaning. That is leaning towards direct. She's not expounding. And I'm leaning towards control because she is not saying anything outside of what she wants to say at all.
I just, you know,
Yeah,
there was
you're
a
so
time
funny.
when there was like DMX.
Also, as far as when she was talking about, I needed to hear DMX, as opposed to we needed a DMX. That is self over tribe. That does not mean selfish. Like, get that in your head. Self does not mean selfish. Tribe does not mean giving. It does not. What it means is that when you get the information and you either organize it or gather it, you do it for you or you do it for the tribe. She gathered that sensory for herself.
And the loxes and the
Yeah.
and the
That's why I appreciate him. That's why I appreciate him.
Right.
I too like a rapper like that.
right.
Mhm.
And it's like
And
but-
the spitters, they're like spitters.
right. And speaking about they speak about what they experience, and that's why hood dudes identify with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there has to be both, like guys that aren't like that, because let's face it, every man is not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think there should always be that kind of dude in hip hop.
I agree. You know, every time you do
It's
songs
very
with guys, it's always, I
idea-oriented.
feel like in the past couple times, the past couple months, I've had on my because they give you the papers of what people are talking about, rumors.
Mhm.
I've had August Alsina because you did a video with him.
Look at that face. She's not saying whatever it is she wants. That's control. Like she wants to say something very not nice, but she's not. That's control.
So then they said, "Oh, Nicki and August are
Hell no.
right."
Hell no.
Why you say it like that? He's cute,
Oh my
August.
God. First of all, oh my God. He is a kid. Do you know he's 21?
He's a baby.
He's
yeah.
a baby. He's a cute baby, but he's a baby.
Yeah.
That's some sensory right there.
Baby.
Like, pay attention to the physical detail here that he is young. That is sensory.
Please
He
don't.
might love you.
But she's having a hard time articulating what she wants here. This is very interesting. Like, I'm not picking up either things or ideas. Like, there's been some idea indicators, but not like a heavy idea indicator. And that's a little weird.
Though you know that we had him here. We
He's
asked him.
sweet.
You know how the face you just made a little while ago? He made that face when I asked about you. So not necessarily anything was going, but there was a love there. It was a.
Can
It
I
was a
say
thing.
something? I love his spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's so vulnerable. Something about him is very vulnerable in
Yeah.
the way he expresses himself,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. And I loved his song that I did with him, and I had this glimpse into his world that I thought was like beautiful.
This is definitely some ideas right here.
Like he and I both had parents that were addicted to drugs and stuff like
Right.
that. So
Mhm.
I
You could
automatically identified with him.
Like, she started to list the sensory there and stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Like, she listed one thing in the sensory. Like, she started to make a list and then she stopped. That is ideas.
is a baby.
He's a little baby, but he's
Can-
sweet and
please
he's
don't
cute.
And she keeps coming back to the same, like, the age thing is an
y'all
issue.
stuff ever into y'all ever in y'all life. But what? And you know what? And it's okay if I'm his crush
Yes,
because he's cute.
he
But-
is cute.
but,
There forever will be Nicki Drake. There will forever be those conversations.
never ever
You say it in the song. I never.
in life, right? But
What kind of?
She's, I'm leaving ideas organized here. Like, she's not bringing in a lot of new ideas. She has her ideas already set, but she can't say what she wants to.
it's so weird, like the the people that people think it be like the ones I be like, no, not in a bad way.
Right.
Because, no, let me explain something because
Let me organize this idea.
I know girls.
That's
love,
organized idea.
Mhm.
but I think that he and I are so. We have such a more family relationship that I can't.
You don't want to kiss him in the mouth.
I definitely don't want to kiss him in the mouth. It's
Right.
weird, but how can I say this? Because sometimes when I say things, it comes across harsh, and that's not what I mean. And then people were like, oh,
That's the direct. That's direct, Nikki. That's what that is. When you're direct with people, they see it as harsh.
and laughing. I'm not trying to be funny.
And she's self, so that makes it harder too. Like, self and direct together, that comes across very harsh. It does not mean that it is. It comes across that way.
About anything
And if she's controlled too, oh yeah.
because both of those guys are a great catch. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to
Yes, I didn't think you'd get.
get that straight.
Yeah.
But
There's love there.
yeah, like I love Drake. But I just feel like if I was to be with someone at this point that they would have to be more similar to me.
Ha!
That's very organized ideas.
Good luck with that.
That's organized
And it
ideas
is a
self.
challenge.
That's organized ideas self right there. That statement right there was organized ideas self. And a little bit of control. And maybe a little direct. Like you could almost type her just from that one statement.
And it is a challenge finding a crazy dude like me that's like
That could deal with.
hood too.
Yes.
But I think that's maybe the only kind of guy that could.
Where does this guy exist? What kind of guy? Where do you find this man? Where does one find this type of guy? Do you have your eye on somebody? Because you're looking like you do. With this face.
You know what's so funny? Like I've never been single for the last 15 years of my life.
Mm. Is it weird?
I don't know. I don't really know if I'm single now either, which is weird too.
What do you mean you don't know?
There's confusion on the sensory here.
How do you not know?
Look, how you?
Yo, back up, back
Right,
up.
he
She
was
said
like,
she doesn't know.
He
Back
was like,
up.
no, because he wanted to see my face and everything when I said that.
They come swarming in.
Like, because my first relationship overlapped into my second relationship, right? And then now,
You
it's just
in the music. I mean, it's there. I out of respect, I don't know what you were comfortable talking about, so I didn't want to ask too much. But I could tell from the music that you're in.
What can you tell?
From the music, I could. What it seems like is that you just went through something,
Right.
or at least when you recorded the songs, that you had just went through something that maybe shook you up a bit. You were a little bit angry in some of the songs, and even maybe depressed in some of the songs. Is that valid? I mean,
Yeah, it's gotta be valid.
Yeah, and that's usually what happens after a breakup.
Yeah, but see, okay, I wasn't broken up when I was writing a lot of these songs. You know how sometimes
the subconscious will come out. Like if you know something's about to happen, it'll come out. I'm getting caught up in the interview and I don't need to do that. But we're gonna go ahead. I think we're all right here. We're gonna go ahead and transition over and then we'll I didn't get any things at all from Nicki. Nothing. And then she wasn't really talking about new concepts or new ideas. She was organizing the ideas that she already had. So we're going to go with that. Well, that's ideas and organize. Because I'm really not picking up things at all. And I'm not really picking up gather at all. Self, again, self does not mean selfish. Self means that you use, like she's going to organize that idea for herself first. Then she'll give it to the tribe. Controlling movements, it's a little bit harder. She's in this interview setting and she's being very careful about what she says. But she's not very flexible on the ideas. So that leans me towards control. When she's talking about the man has to conform to her, that is more of a control than a movement. And there were several other instances, but that was a really good indicator there. And she is so very direct. I love it. I'm a direct person myself. It seems like not because my YouTube, who I have to be. That is me working on myself when I'm this informative. I am very direct. I come across as very harsh. But that resonates with me in a very real way. Let's calculate it out, and we've got an INTJ. Yeah. NI Hero is going to put everything into a box. Now, I didn't really pick up her box. But you can tell that everything has to fit in her box. I'm sure with more knowledge of Nicki, then I would know what her boxes were. But everything fits into one of the two boxes. TE parent is going to feel responsible for making sure that the tribe knows the rationale of what everyone's thinking. The interview, or not the interview, but the Instagram post that led me into this is her being responsible for everyone realizing that there is control of thought going on. That is her parenting the TE. That's a very good example of it too. TE parent can go one of two ways. It either is all in with the establishment, or it is calling out the establishment. And what she was doing was calling out the establishment, even though the original reasoning and the original story did not have anything to do with calling that out. It was her saying that this is my choice. And then everybody came after her and she was like, all right, we're going to TE parent you. And that is from her FI child. She was very defensive over her morals. She holds tightly to controlling the situation. The weakness here is wanting to be well thought of and proving how smart. Now, I didn't get that at all from her with the proving how smart she is. She is just very secure in who she is. But the whole Instagram post was the FI child coming out. Y'all pushed back against her decision? No, fuck that. That is FI child. Y'all are not going to judge what I decide I feel right. And that is the child is going to push back. That is where you're going to get defensive. SE inferior is going to think you're great at doing things, but you actually often shortcut them or inadvertently turn it in or break them inadvertently. I admit I really missed that T again. Like I went back and fixed this, y'all, and I still miss that T. You turn the weakness into a strength by learning the mechanics of something. SE deals with the actual physical. Like she's not going to be very good at fixing things. But because SE is in the top 4 stack, she is going to be good at doing things. She's just not going to be great at doing things. She's very good at projecting the persona that she wants. She's very good at singing, but she's worked for it. That wasn't just a natural thing. She has worked for her flow. She has worked for her bars. She has worked for everything that she's done. She's put in the grind. She had to. She's an SE inferior. Any nemesis, the challenge is going to lie in dealing with other possibilities, with the tribe's possibilities. Things outside of her box is going to be an issue for her. Again, I don't know what her boxes is, so I can't put that in. This interview didn't really bring that out. I am positive she has boxes, though. The TI critic is going to have a hard time organizing thoughts. You're going to second guess any thought that deviates, however slightly, from your normal. Not from any normal, not from what this guy thinks is normal, but from what you personally think is the normal. I'm willing to bet that her writing process involves a lot of editing. Like she'll write it and then go back and edit through and go back and edit through and go back and edit through. That is because TI Critic has a hard time with the organizing of the thoughts. You can actually see some examples of that, but I can't pull them up because I'm SI Demon too. FE Trickster is going to be unaware of other people's values. And unaware does not necessarily mean that you don't know. It's more that you just don't care. You're going to have a hard time learning to feel guilt or care for others. She's like, when I meet a man, he has to conform to me. That is FE Trickster. She's not going to care about what other people's values are. You have to come and agree with my values. FE Trickster is also going to be the type of person that forms covert contracts. Like they have to work on being forthright and setting clear expectations. Covert contracts are, I'm going to do this for you, and you're going to do this for me, but I'm not going to tell you that we just agreed to that. You should know that already. That is a problem. That is a problem to be worked on. And then finally, SI Demon. You're going to undermine yourself by not caring for yourself or your things, pushing your body's limits too much. I can get this done. I can do this too. Need to understand physical limits. SI Demon are going to have trouble regulating their day and stopping when they need to stop. They're also going to have a higher instance of substance abuse. SI Demons are the ones that are addiction prone, because with the demon slot, what happens is that that's where your focus goes. It should be on your hero. You should be paying attention to your hero and your parent, but you're more than likely paying attention to your demon. So much so that you're going to think that's what you do well, but you really don't. You need to make sure that you know your boundaries, know your limits, and know where you need to stop. There's no problem whatsoever with enjoying yourself. The problem becomes when it takes over your life. SI demons, it's going to take over your life. That's where we're going to leave it. This seems to be a fit. I don't know Nicki personally. This is subjective. All of typology is subjective. I am trying to make it less so. I am trying to make it more, this is how this has to work. It seems to be that way. So we're going to wrap it up there. So to Nicki, I thank you for this. To the interviewer, I thank you for this. I appreciate the opportunity to learn some more. I do. To the crew, I thank you for being here. I appreciate every single minute that you're here. Thanks for hanging out. I'm praying for you every single day. This has been Pit's Take. Peace.